Around New Jersey, around the clock. This is News 12, New Jersey.
I'm Eric Lance-Croner. $2 million for a new security system at a school district with outdated computers and not enough textbooks to go around. Is this money well spent, or is something else going on? Walt Kane is in your corner with a look at an investigation you'll see only on News 12 New Jersey. Walt?
Well, Eric, we all want our kids to be safe at school, but in Belleville, our investigation finds big questions about the high cost of security. Should the Board of Ed have spent this much money? Was the contract awarded fairly? And did key players in the district benefit from political payback? Students and teachers at Belleville schools are constantly watched by cameras and tracked by radio frequency chips. It's the result of a $2 million security upgrade by a company called Clarity Technologies.
We knew that if it could happen in a cozy community like Newtown, Connecticut, that it could certainly happen anywhere.
But some say the security is so over the top, it's unnecessary.
Was it suspicious? Yeah. Yes, it was.
They question why the board would spend that kind of money in a district that doesn't have up-to-date computers or textbooks.
Our science books are outdated. Our history books don't have 9/11 in it.
Some would say there's no history of incidents. To spend millions is overkill.
Well, there was no history of that in Newtown. There was no history of that in Columbine. There was no history of that in any school until it happened.
But our investigation finds there are questions about the relationship between the Board of Education and the company that got the job, Clarity Technologies, especially since Clarity was the only bidder.
We're the only bidder because we're the only ones who understood what needed to be done in that particular aspect. That's not negating the competition, but nobody chose to compete.
Perhaps that's because no one else had a real chance to compete. Months before the security upgrade was put up for bids, the district hired Clarity to evaluate its security and come up with a plan to fix it. Clarity's competitors would have been bidding against Clarity on its own plan, and they had almost no time to do it. From the day the project was advertised until the time the Board of Ed awarded the contract was just 12 business days.
When you see something moving at that rate of speed, it tells you one of two things. Either your bid is being used for ballast, or that it's already a done deal.
And once it got the deal, Clarity made some interesting personnel moves. It hired the brother of the school board attorney who approved the contract and the son of board trustee Joe Longo, who proposed and spearheaded the security upgrade.
It makes you very suspicious when the person who's presenting the security plan, leading it up, and is the knowledge base for the board as well as the public, his son immediately got a job with Clarity Contracts.
Longo tells us he never asked for special treatment for his son, and Krieger denies politics was involved in either hire.
And there was no quid pro quo. Absolutely none whatsoever.
In fact, Krieger says he eventually fired Longo's son, even though he was a great employee, simply because of the public outcry.
The toughest thing that I've ever had to do was fire a decorated Marine because of politics. And we chose to do that just because it made no sense to continue to fight a battle that there was no winner in.
But we are not the only ones who are raising questions about how the school district is spending its money. Last week, the State Department of Education appointed a monitor to oversee the Belleville School District's finances. That had to do with the budget from the previous year, but a source tells me the state has now also begun investigating the purchase of that security system and whether any laws were broken. Do you know something I need to investigate? Call me at 732-738-KANE or email kaneinyourcorner@news12.com or find me on Facebook at Kane In Your Corner.
You were talking about that bidding process and the relatively short amount of time that went between the time it was advertised and the time that the bid was awarded. Is there any predetermined, is there any minimum amount of time that there needs to be for the bidding?
No, there's not a set time frame that you have to have as a minimum in that regard. But what there can't be is what they call a proprietary specification or spec. You cannot write the bid in such a way that only one company could get it and no other company could compete. So that would be something that theoretically, and again, obviously investigators aren't going to tell me what they're looking at, but that is something that theoretically they might look at.
All right. Walt Kane. Thank you, Walt.